This is Karben on Air with your hosts, Chad Addy.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Karben on Air. Once again, I'm your host, Chad Addy, and I hope you're all having an awesome week so far. Now, in past episodes, we've talked about our New Year's resolutions and actually sticking to them this year. We're at the end of January now, so this is a time when most people give up on those New Year's resolutions and start living the same life that they lived before. I mentioned when we started this that I've always been notorious for not finishing side projects that I start. This painting, for example, I haven't finished a painting in probably 5 or 6 years, and I'm proud to announce that I finished this painting. So I fulfilled my promise. Now it's your turn to stick to your goals and follow through on the goals that you set for yourself this year in 2018. Now, in order to actually follow through with your goals this year, it's very important that we all remain positive during this whole process. It's going to be difficult to follow through with our goals. That's why they're goals, otherwise we'd be doing them already. It's going to be difficult, but we need to remain positive. One thing that's preventing us from being positive, especially recently, is the media and how the media directly correlates with our depression, our stress, our unhappiness. And I want to talk about that today. Recently, Bill Gates, who some of you may know, wrote an article in Time magazine discussing this exact topic. And his point was that regardless of all the negative things you hear about in the media, all the hurricanes, the mass shootings, the global tensions, the world is actually getting better. It may not seem like that by watching the media, but the world is actually getting a little better. And how do I know that? Because it's backed by data, like real data. Let's take, for example, the number of children that don't make it to their 5th birthday. Since 1990, that number has been cut in half. That means that nearly 122 million children have been saved in that time, and countless parents have avoided the experience of losing a child. Also in 1990, more than a third of the world's population lived in extreme poverty. Today, only about a tenth of the population lives in extreme poverty. A century ago, it was legal to be gay in about 20 countries. Today, it's legal in over 100 countries. Women are gaining political power and now make up more than a fifth of the national parliament. In addition, the world is starting to listen when women speak up about sexual assault, and we're actually starting to do something about it. More than 90% of children in the world attend a primary school. And in the US, you are far less likely to die on the job or driving a car than our grandparents were, than our parents were growing up. These stats go on and on and on. There are positive things happening out there. We just don't know about them because the media doesn't talk about them. Instead, they concentrate on the negative things. And why is that? As humans, we are wired to gravitate to and concentrate on threats. Just as we try to avoid a tiger from eating us, we concentrate on that threat. Same thing applies with negative news. We concentrate on those threats and it starts to affect our lives. We start to become paranoid, stressed, unhappy. We as humans are very emotional people, and media companies do an excellent job of targeting that in people. They're going to get far more clicks, far more attention on an article that's negative than something that's positive. Would you rather click on an article that said somebody died in a car accident, or that car accidents are down this year 50%? We are wired to be concentrated on negative things, but we don't have to be that way. I was someone that always kept up on the news. Every morning, several times throughout the day, I would check the news. But over the last several months, I've cut back on my news intake. I don't check it nearly as often. I start to concentrate on other things that actually make me happy. And I've noticed a huge difference in my life. I've become a more positive person, and I hope that's coming through in these videos. You too can do the same thing. I challenge you to turn the TV off. Stop paying so much attention to the news, the negative news that we hear every single day. The world is not falling apart, despite what they say, and there is still a ton of beauty in this world. So keep doing what you love, and I will see you again next Wednesday for our next episode of Karben on Air. Thanks, everybody. Peace.
This is Karben on Air with your hosts, Chad Addy.